Stingray is a huge advocate for platforms. He's
Okay.
like back when Crystal Temple was a map, that was he was like the only reason why the map was picked in competitive was because Stingray was getting top 8s. And Western Air Temple, I think, is a little bit of the same way. And this is one of the few maps where we saw the interview earlier on before this matchup. Stingray likes going to this map because he believes so much in this platform movement. But it's Kyna who locked this in over Brawlhalla here for game number 1. So both players are huge fan of the platforms.
All right, man. See how this one. And Stingray, as we got the answer to who he decided to play first, it is indeed the Orion. So he has a little faith back into the Rocket Lance, but you know, I do think it's less about the secondary weapon and more about what SIGs he wants on that spear.
Dude, Stingray is just really good at the Black Knight. I mean, it's just one of those things where I feel like when he locks this, then I'm like, okay, we're home. All right, this is where you should be. Meanwhile, Kyna destroyed him for having Lance first.
He is, yeah. Well, we lost the 50-50, I guess, on that one.
The 150-50 in the game before they start cycling. Now he's got an opportunity, especially if he can get like a really solid evening up stocks here with his spear. He can prime another spear so he doesn't have to worry about that again. Sidelight, I love that gravity cancel sidelight in the air. Yeah, he's doing, it's such a huge difference. Look at it, D-Light. TK, he's so good at spear.
He's just so good, and he immediately cycles that out. Get that Lance out of here. So back on the spear, has another one ready for him when he does lose this spear, if he decides to, or if he wants to go crazy for the weapon starve. But currently kind of was able to grab that weapon super quickly. Again, though, you have to watch out. Stingray has his tried and true in his hand. Kyna, on the other hand, I feel like he's done well on both his weapons. So
yeah, Kyna's a true Asuri main through and through. Like
yeah.
he's picking the character and using every aspect of the character. We see him get the dunks with the neutral sig. We see him get the dunks with his neutral sig on sword of all weapons, right? And he's putting Stingray into deep red here on this second stock, despite Stingray equalizing so well.
Oh, all right.
I like the idea.
Yeah.
he could have clipped like a dodge down or something. Instead of just, well, ended up giving Kyna the stage back there. But okay, edge guard opportunity.
Weapon toss is doing him some justice as well. Quick toss downs, re-grabbing his weapon to get a little extra damage as well.
Oh, gravity canceled that sideline, so he had no dodge after that one.
Yeah, big bet right there. Maybe expecting Kyna to jump up a little earlier, but no. Does not do that, stays true to his guns, gets the good punish. Back onto the Lance. I mean, he's got some good damage. I don't know if he's able to get a stop. Maybe right there that would have been could have potentially been stopped.
Yeah, Enigma's ceiling is a little deceptive. Whereas when the Great Hall was back in rotation, the ceiling was so high to make up for that platform. No, that top platform's just really close to the ceiling.
Yeah,
like you can blast away like so.
There it is.
Stingray equalizes right again, but he has to constantly bring it back. Kyna is just always taking the lead here. This will be the first time in the set that we'll have to see Stingray take back the lead and hold on to it. Oh, he's so good at that. Kyna gets out so many players. Okay, huge opportunity.
Like the idea of trying to get a little extra damage on the drop down there, but wasn't able to get down there fast enough. Still, though, the damage mostly onto the side of Stingray, but he's starting to add up just a little bit on the side of Kyna as well. Ends up losing his weapon, though, and now Kyna on the weapon that he's not really favoring that much. Has to make some type of play here. And yeah, not gonna get it though. Yeah, I mean, I feel like almost every time he has picked up a Lance, it has not done well for him. I think he even feels that way. He's like, why is this in my hand right now?
That was an interesting set, or interesting game, I say set, where like the pacing of it absolutely did not change. Like if I kind of would start off the game taking the stock, and then the rest of the second stock would look at like, okay, Stingray's figured it out. He's bringing it back, and then kind of respawns, picks up the sword, and goes like, just kidding. And then it just kept going back and forth. And the graph even represents that, to where like that was the most like taking turns graph that I think I've ever seen in Brawlhalla damage there. The issue with that being that because Kyna started off first, he's always going to win if the match goes that way. So Stingray sees that an adjustment has to be made, and he goes right back off the Orion with Bryn, which is the character that he's at least vocalized he believes in.
Yeah, we haven't seen too much belief in it ourselves. I feel like I mean
Godly maybe destroy it. Yeah.
Maybe he had some games that I just didn't watch today that like he popped off with. In the game that I watched, it did not go well. So. Again, though, I have no issue with Bryn being the pick. I think Bryn, as I always like to say, very exact character. Everything that you think is supposed to happen happens. Your side sig goes to the side. Your neutral sig is anti-air. Your down sig covers a decent amount of area around you. It's just right now the Axe not on this patch, not really in the greatest spot, and neither did his honestly, the spear play didn't really look that great on this stock either.
Yeah,
so.
Kyna's been destroying him, honestly.
Yeah.
Kyna's been taking the center stage position underneath all 3 platforms. Stingray's doing a lot of great platform movement into getting hit, and that's what's been happening. And it's interesting that they're back to Enigma here where I'm looking at this, I'm like, I think they've single-handedly raised the pick rate for the stage by 50%.
Oh!
Oh, that chase dodge was unfortunate, though.
Yeah, getting hit in the head on the bottom, and just, obviously didn't have any more resources, so got an axe in hand, unarmed.
And so Stingray did really well with Axe in the North America Winter Championship,
okay.
like where he was like almost splitting his damage between both of these weapons. And it wasn't until he got into that top 4 position where it started getting really funky and he started picking Lance again. So I do think he does believe in the weapon, but as you said, when he's been on it, Kyna's just been destroying him, right?
He's getting a couple hits here and there, though. He's definitely playing quite patient, though, against the way that Kyna is. There's a couple areas where he could get a... Okay, wow, I cannot believe he found that hit up there, but it isn't going to matter. Does get down light to recovery. And as you said, this blast zone is very close.
Yeah, and Kyna's been taking huge advantage of it. The Nair's chasing him all the way up as well. Kyna's one of the few players that I feel like he makes overextending look safe. That is what he's been doing. Even when he gets hit by an axe side air, he's like, okay, the only things I can get hit by here aren't going to knock me out, so I might as well pressure my opponent. Nice edge guard from Stingray, though, but if this Game 2 is anything like Game 1, Kyna's going to pick up a sword, and he's just going to run away with it and bring it to a 2-0 situation.
Okay, Stingray actually, this time, is indeed favoring the axe. I think maybe he's feeling kind of figured out here on the spear, because, it kind of did handle that first stock like it was nothing. So, yeah, I think this little mix in pace is definitely working out for Stingray, but how long will it work out is the real question.
Yeah, I think it has forced Kyna to play almost entirely on the sword. We've seen very little Katars. I do think, like, the way Stingray plays Axe, he likes to use the neutral light to stop, like, Katar side light or Katar down air from getting in. But, I don't know, Kyna picks up some Katars there, disarms them from the Axe, keeps them starter weapons, and next weapon coming up is Spear. Delay recovery, that's going to be it. TK, this has been the most straightforward set I've watched in a long time.
Yeah, for what we've been watching today, yeah, this is definitely like, all right, Kyna's doing all the right things at the right times. There you saw the great patience of being like, all right, man, I'm jumping at you. You're probably shook. Tries to go for the air dodge through, and he just turns his gravity cancel down line around to recovery, finishes the game.
The viewer vote is actually pretty accurate to the pacing of the match. It's a 60-40. like in terms of like the damage and effort being done here, Kyna is just like if the way that a fighting game like win was determined was just a number line, and if you hit 51 instead of getting the 49, you won the game. That's like what's happening here. Kyna's just been doing a really great job of just keeping the momentum exactly where he needs to be to win, and he's been getting these wins super solid. And oh no, PK is here.
What?
It's the Vrax.
Okay. The legendary Vrax.
he's
the Vrax of Legends.
Yeah, he brought the Vrax in Winters, and it was one of those things where you're just kind of like, all right, all hope is lost. I'm going to bring out the Vrax. And he says, Rod. He tweets it out, and there he is. And he's got the blasters now. And honestly, Stingray's blasters are pretty good. Stingray's just pretty good at the game in general.
Yeah.
But there's no spear here. That's,
Yeah, that's his thing. That's what I know Stingray for. But I mean, this time around, he's playing on the blasters. He's also got the lance on the other side. And I think that like Vrax has some pretty annoying sigs. So like that could be something that he's trying to bet on here.
True. Yeah.
Oh,
that's huge. Gets the grab cut as well. Also, Vrax, absurdly high dexterity for the Lance. Something to consider there when coming through. He's just a very fast character in general, both with the movement speed and dexterity. Loses a little bit of that on the forces defense. But yeah, let's see how that plays out here.
Maybe not that way.
I just thought about something that was, yeah, that wasn't great. We'll just pretend that didn't happen. We often talk about how South America is the region of the spear because of Fiend's innovation. And if Stingray here, a spear player, isn't actually playing spear to the level enough to where he can pressure Kyna, who literally has to beat the best spear players in the world every single tournament.
Yep.
He just might not be good enough yet on that weapon compared to what Kyna's used to. And that switch over to the Vrax could be what he needs to be able to take this to a game 4.
He's going to make it back to the stage, and way back to the stage, actually, right there. Looking for a little scoop here on that neutral sig. Nobody home, though.
Oh, man.
Dude, this time, scoop. Hey, lost off onto the other side. And that's the, I feel like that's the sig. That's the one.
He's starting to let
just throwing him out, yeah.
He's having these sides, these neutral sig. Dude, the Kyna's not even anywhere near him. He's like, I know that this sound bothers you. It's like, I know you got the sound effects playing.
It's definitely the mental game right there.
He's going to slide charge this down zig and just whiff it completely. Come on, do it. Yeah! There it is! I'm so mad.
Because you know that wasn't a bait. Like that had to be like a tech club, and he's like, I still turn this into my stock though.
When I said whiff it completely, I didn't mean the other way, Stingray. Oh, that was okay. That's again. You know, despite that happening, he still took the stock lead. Okay, it's 1-1 right now. Stingray's Vax is so goofy. My goodness, he might get a win on it too.
Yeah, he might actually get a W here. Waiting for a win, and yeah, already take a little bit of damage here.
Recovery, that's huge punish. Oh, but Kyna's got him now in deep red. Kyna, I think, has stabilized after the surprise of this Rax pick.
Yeah, it's looking pretty much like a kind of 3-0 potentially, because I feel like Stingray's not even getting any type of hits here. Kyna with some great avoidance, looking for a lot. Ends up taking that one to the dome again. Yeah.
All right, that's a 3-0 for Kyna there, where Stingray, at least with his game plan going up against Kyna, was completely stopped out. Like, Kyna was really ready for the spear coming out from Stingray. Stingray tried a little bit with the lance, tried it with the axe, and then went to the Vrax at the very end, and Kyna just dismantled all of it. This avoids that scenario that would have been really weird. Kyna's now secured himself in that top 4. I don't know where, but he's going to be there now that he's gone 5-2.